they've really, and I hate to say this because I want to see Rex Ryan coach again just because he's entertaining. But Rex has shown since the early days of the Jets that he's just not a great coach. Like he doesn't organize the systems well for his players. He doesn't make sure that the team is running cohesion. He may be a good defensive mind, but you can see now that either the players are playing harder for him, they have better players, or they just, the scheming and everything else was going awry during the Ryan era. So the Buffalo Bills, yes, I think they are playing very well. Tyrod Taylor, I would say, even now, even with the way he's playing, I would still say
he's B- quarterback.
I mean, sure. I would put him probably in the bottom half of the league. I would say he's somewhere around the late teens, maybe 16, 17, 18, 19, around there. But he is not an abomination like some other starting quarterbacks in the league are, which I know, backhanded compliment. But you cannot be one of those quarterbacks. You cannot have one of those quarterbacks in your team and hope to be successful at all. You can have the best defense in the league and you'll still win 5 games. So having Tyrod Taylor in your team is much better than having one of the 5 or 6 absolute busts.
Perhaps Mr. Kaiser.
No, I think it's too early because, like we just said about Jared Goff, last year he looked absolutely terrible, and the Cleveland Browns are a worse situation than the Rams were last year, and maybe they have more weapons offensively than the Rams did, but their defense is nowhere near what the Rams were last year. The Rams were a good defense last year; they just had a terrible offense. So I think Deshaun, I think. Maybe they put him out there too early. Maybe him winning the starting job was not great to begin with. Oh my God, Jeremy Lin has dreadlocks. Sorry.
I just saw that
was wild. Oh my God.
New form of Linsanity here.
Yeah,
in Brooklyn.
That just threw me for a loop. But I take Tyrod Taylor over Eli Manning. Yes, definitely. Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Especially, more importantly, I would take Tyrod Taylor's offensive line over Eli Manning's offensive line any day. But the coolest thing about the Bills right now is they're having first of all, in the lead of their division, which also contains the New England Patriots, without their best player, their workhorse, LaShawn McCoy, having that great of a year. He's having a good year, sure.
Yeah.
But he's not having a LaShawn McCoy year that everyone thought he was going to have, and just shady. If he can pick it up, they're a team to look out for.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think they have the pieces there, and it's kind of funny that Sammy Watkins leaves there and is now in this highest scoring offense in the NFL. It just kind of seems like a bizarro world that we're talking about the Bills and the Rams as both 3-1 teams. But hey, here we are. I think if I were to pick a team that has been surprising that is going to be able to keep this up, so scrolling through, I don't believe enough in the Bills.
Can I fill in?
Yeah.
Philadelphia Eagles.
No, I agree.
I love Carson Wentz.
I don't even think that's surprising. So that's why I kind of skipped over them because, yeah, Carson Wentz is going to be a multiple time Pro Bowl quarterback. He's an awesome quarterback already. They have a lot more weapons around him now. Alshon Jeffrey is there. They have, I think their tight end Zach Ertz is like the 3rd leading targeted guy in the NFL, and they have great pieces on defense. So yeah, I think the Philadelphia Eagles are, even if they don't win the division, they're a lock to make the playoffs. I
agree. And they followed the NFL's trend of beating the Chargers by hardly any points. They beat the Chargers by 2. Poor Chargers. Man.
Shout out to my man. No, not poor Chargers. Shout out to my man Harry Chang. He helped me co-host the Sports Bite once or twice, and it was his birthday yesterday. He is a native San Diegan, and I was very glad to see that the San Diego Chargers lost once again by single digits.
Do you mean the Los Angeles Chargers?
Yes, I do. See, I won't even dare to call them the Los Angeles Chargers. So he's happy that they keep losing by nail biting circumstances because everyone in San Diego is very upset as what has become of the no longer San Diego Chargers.
So moving on from this week in the NFL, which was fun, but really, really sad for me because all 3 of my fantasy teams just got annihilated, and I was in the lead of 2 of those leagues.
Yes.
Anyways, next week is interesting.
Okay.
Not because of the good teams, because of the bad teams.
Okay.
The Niners and the Colts play. The Colts are still Andrew Luckless.
Yes.
In the Niners, if they can keep losing, might have a little guy named Sam Darnold coming their way.
Okay. Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, he's a college quarterback.
Although I would not take him first overall.
Well, and who knows if he will even go. There were rumors that came out yesterday that he said he's leaning towards the NFL. That's been confirmed today as not true. He is still 50-50, and I really think it depends on who gets the number 1 overall pick. If it's the Cleveland Browns, there's no chance he's going to the NFL. If it's the San Francisco 49ers with a really good coach, Shanahan, I think he has a pretty good shot of going to the NFL, and he stays close to home, or at least close to California. I don't know where he's originally from.
No, I think he's from California. From what I've seen, and this isn't the college football segment, but so maybe we won't get too far. But I do remember a couple of weeks ago I said that I think USC is going 9-3 and UCLA will not finish the season ranked, and I have not budged from that. I don't think they are really all that great. I think Sam Darnold is a good pro prospect. I don't think he's the next coming of Andrew Luck or, Aaron Rodgers wasn't the top, can't miss guy, but so it's not a great comparison. But I think he'll be solid. I think he'll be somewhat solid. I don't think he's going to be a guy who is going to change the fortunes of a franchise. I'm sorry. I think everyone bought way too much into a 7-game stretch at the end of the season when USC's year was already over. And now, I mean, he's thrown what? Like he's thrown almost 10 interceptions.
Yeah, he was the Heisman
games.
favorite coming in, and he's thrown
which is
quite a bit of picks, but he also has no deep threat. And we'll talk about college football a little bit later, but I think that he is the most pro-ready quarterback in college football. And I think that if the Niners get the number 1 pick or the Browns get the number 1 pick, they're going to try for him. If the Browns have the number 1 pick, no way he's going. He's going to stay in school one more year. Anyways, the other battle of the bowls,
yeah,
Browns and Jets. Mm-hmm. And they're both playing for something too, because the Jets, they won a game.
I know, my God. No one thought they were going to win this early.
No, they thought it was going to be a tank.
2 games.
They've won 2 games. If the Jets win another game, they have 0 shot of getting that number 1 overall pick because there's no chance that the Niners win 3 games and there's no chance that the Browns win 3 games.
I'm really upset about the Jets winning 2 games because I really, really want to see Christian Hackenberg play in the NFL this season because I think it's going to be it's going to be the comedy of the season. I think Christian Hackenberg trying to throw against an NFL defense is going to be disastrous. I mean, have you seen any of the clips you'll see of Christian Hackenberg throwing the ball? It's like you're trying to you found some jewel of a prospect, like a 19-year-old guy from Australia who has never actually played basketball, but we're going to mold him, and in 5 years he'll be the best basketball player. I feel like that's what the Jets think they have in Christian Hackenberg, and he had 1 good year at Penn State, and then in 2 years after that he was terrible, and he's been terrible in practice in his 2 years in the NFL. So I'm upset that they've won twice because that means less of a chance that they're going to bring him in because that would have been awesome. So, but yeah, I mean, the Jets aren't bad. Josh McCown's playing decently. The running game is really effective. Elijah McGuire.
Bilal Powell falling down, getting tripped up, running it to the house for a touchdown when everyone thought he was down. That was crap, play.
Robbie Anderson's doing well in his rookie season. So, they're wide receiver if you're not... second season from Temple. I mean, he's a legitimate NFL wide receiver, which the Jets can't say they've had a lot of in the last 10 years. So, I mean, I think the Jets fans were hoping for a 1-15 season because they wanted to go for Darnold, but Jets fans are kind of delusional and they'll buy into some strange things. So, good on the Jets. Keep trying, keep playing, and who are they playing this week? You said.
Jets and Browns. Yeah. So they very well might get their 3rd win.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Which would throw them out of all contention for that number 1 pick, which was their season plan, according to sources, not according to them.
Yeah.
Other fun games we have coming up is the Battle of the Cats. The Lions and Panthers play each other. Should be a fun game. Panthers coming off a huge win against the Patriots, where Cam Newton looked like Cam Newton for the first time this year. Mm-hmm. He looked like he got over the flu and came out and was happy and had a dyed beard of some sort of blonde color. Not sure what that was about, but he looked good. He broke the record for most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback all-time NFL. Mm-hmm. And we'll see what the old Panthers have against the Lions and Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford, I remember when he signed that contract, I sent you a text message saying, not worth it. He's been backing it up so far. 7 touchdowns, 1 interception in 4 games. He's played, I think he's been playing the best football of his career.
His decision-making has been the best it's been in his career.
Yeah.
100%.
I think that is the marquee game. I do like the Buccaneers, Patriots, because the Patriots need to win. They can't fall to 2-3. And the Buccaneers are good. They're 2-0 at home. They're playing in Tampa Bay, so that'll be an interesting game. But yeah, I think the Panthers-Lions is the game of the weekend. You missed one of the stinkers. The Chargers and Giants?
Oh, I skipped right over it.
They're both 0-4. You didn't even bring up the stinker of the stinkers.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be another 2-point loss for the Chargers.
Oh God, yes. Please. Some like a 70-yard field goal at the buzzer for the Giants to win. That'll be fantastic. So yeah, the Panthers and Lions. Let's see if Cam Newton can keep it going. It was so strange to watch him struggle for the first 3 games. It did not. He seems like that first game against the Broncos last year just kind of like tore apart his will to play football. It was just strange, and maybe last week reignited it, beating the Super Bowl favorites and doing it in an impressive fashion in his sense. It's kind of strange because Cam Newton has that personality that you're not quite sure whether he's that into everything that's going on. Like he doesn't seem like the type of guy who is living or dying whether he wins a football game. And maybe just that's because he kind of pouts a lot on the podium, and when he lost the Super Bowl to the Broncos, he did not have a great reaction to that. So maybe it's kind of soured me on him, but I don't know. It's just there's something strange about Cam, especially like when he loses the game and he dresses up all eccentrically. And I'm usually a guy all for that. Just Cam.
Well, you got to see Russ dress up all eccentrically and lose.
See whoa. Whoa. See, that's not.
Well, he's going to win a lot more this year than he did last year.
Of course.
Other big games.
Seed, maybe.
This should be interesting because we're going to see Jared Goff play against a really, really good pass defense in the Seattle Seahawks, the Legion of Boom, and I'm interested to see it. I'm interested to see what tricks they have up their sleeves over there in Los Angeles, because this is a defense that historically tricks up your sleeve don't work against.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see if the people of Los Angeles show up for this game, because this is a huge game. I mean, the Rams in front of the division, the Seahawks, the perennial powerhouse in that division, coming in at 2-2, needing a win to reassert their dominance over this division, having lost single possession games to the Packers and the Titans, with just a 3-point win over the 49ers, but last week drubbing the Colts 46-18 on Sunday Night Football. It's going to, I think this is also another fascinating matchup for this week, because Jared Goff and Sean McVay, not to just keep on, googly eyes over them.
No, I really like Sean McVay too.
I mean, it just seems like to have this jump from one year to the next, it just seems almost impossible.
Well, and they're doing things that I've never seen done in football before, with these like weird reverses to Tavon Austin and stuff. It's working. It's these high school trick plays that are working in the NFL against teams that are literally designed to stop stupid plays.
Someone with the cojones enough to finally use Tavon Austin, the cojones and the smarts to use Tavon Austin in the way he should be being used. I mean, I feel like Tavon Austin's prime was totally wasted away under Jeff Fisher and just the whole litany of offensive coaches he had there. It's a shame, because Tavon Austin was one of my favorite players in college when he was at Baylor. He was just an amazing player to watch, whether he's returning kicks or rushing for like 400 yards as a wide receiver. I mean, that was absolutely crazy. I forget who he's playing. I think it's like Texas Tech or Oklahoma State or something. But Tavon Austin, awesome in college, and I'm glad he finally has a coach who can use him well. And now, the Rams have weapons. It's such a strange new universe we're living in, where Cooper Kupp is an NFL receiver and he's doing great things, and Sammy Watkins and Robert Woods. I mean, that is those 4 guys along with Tavon Austin. That is a really strong wide receiver core. So, and like you said, Todd Gurley could be the best running back in football. Although I do believe it's still the man in Pittsburgh.
Yes. I mean, this season so far, because Le'Veon Bell did struggle a couple games. Yeah. I think Todd Gurley, he's 7 touchdowns now? Guy's putting up insane numbers, and he's catching the ball, which he's never done. Mm-hmm. And it's really cool to see. All right, moving on. Packers-Cowboys. That's a fun one.
That is fun. That's America's team versus America's team.
That is, I got to think it's going to be high scoring.
If only
Packers can't stop the run.
If only you could get the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Green Bay Packers, and the Dallas Cowboys all to play each other in one single game. It's like, I think everyone in America would have to watch. It would just, For whatever reason, people over 40 years old like one of those three teams. Doesn't it seem that way? You're like, oh,